global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello guys, welcome back. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, who was the key sponsor of the counter-subvention and other related bill, has finally, based on pressure, decided to withdraw the bill from the House. Don't forget that this bill actually was seeking to criminalize and also deal with those who have refused to sing Nigeria's reintroduced national anthem. That wasn't just it alone. There were other issues that were dealt with or that were meant to be dealt with that bill. But because of the pressure coming in from different opposition, especially women who have sworn that they will never sing that reintroduced national anthem, the pressure was much, and I think that the speaker couldn't stand it. That's why he decided to cave in to the heated opposition and outrage that trailed the introduction of the controversial bill, which prescribed 10 years jail term for those who refuses to sing the newly introduced national anthem. Let's dive into the content, what he has to say. Don't forget that Abbas, alongside Senate President Godswill Akpabio and other federal lawmakers, had passed the National Anthem Bill 2024 into law in May at their separate chambers. On May 29, 2024, on the one-year anniversary of the current government, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu signed the National Anthem Bill 2024, reverting to the old national anthem, Nigeria We Hail Thee, from Arise, O Compatriot. Many Nigerians criticized the move, saying it was a misplacement of priority and not an antidote to the socio-economic and security challenges bedeviling the country. They even totally rejected Nigeria We Hail Thee and vowed to return the anthem Arise, O Compatriot. However, President said the latest national anthem, Nigeria We Hail Thee, is our diversity, representing all characters and how we blend to be brothers and sisters. In July, as a way to enforce the recitation of the reintroduced anthem, Abbas, talking about the Speaker of the House, introduced a counter-subvention and other related bill in the Green Chambers. But the bill, which reportedly scaled the second reading, faced so much castigations from some respected voices, and I can name those who stood so strong against it, the likes of former minister under Jonathan Obi-Ezekwesili, and also the activist Aisha Yusufu, among others. I'm going to say what they wrote, but however, that public outroar kind of forced the speaker to withdraw it, and that came via the office of his spokesperson, Musa Krishi. On Wednesday, he says that the speaker has decided to withdraw it. Let me read the exact words of Krishi, and he says that his decision to withdraw it reflects his commitment to ensuring that the House remain truly the people's house. He, that's Abbas, acknowledged the significance of the concern raised and the attention the bill has garnered, reaffirming that he will never support any action that might disrupt the peace and unity of the nation. The public is hereby notified of the withdrawal of the counter-subvention bill and other related ones introduced on July 23rd, 2024. This is quite interesting. But guess what? It's good enough we get to know exactly what did the likes of Aisha Yusufu, what did they write? What was the statement they made that kind of carved the almighty Speaker of the House of Representatives such that he had to say, no, let me not go ahead. All right, let's consider what the former minister had to say, talking about Obi-Ezekwesili. She says, I'm certain that the Speaker of the House NGR at Speaker Abbas at NAS Nigeria knows this for a fact. Surely he must know that the so-called hashtag counter-subvention bill, which he introduced and alleged to be in its second reading, is a slight flight of fancy that further reveal how unserious and irrelevant the lawmakers are to the Nigerian condition. I, for example, have kept my public statement and only stand and sing the real Nigerian national anthem, Arise, O Compatriot, never the colonial and tribal one that he and his colleagues conspire with the NGR president and kangaroo into law in violation of the constitutional processes. Get ready to prosecute me when you pass your notions hashtag counter-subvention bill into an act. But before then, please note that if there is any group of Nigerians that deserve a subvention act, it is you and your colleagues at NAS Nigeria who consistently subvert the progress of Nigeria and her people through your legendary public misdemeanor that accumulate into bad governance. Your citizens have spoken up in unison, asking you and your colleagues in executive and judicial arms to #end bad governance in Nigeria. You obviously have still not heard the ticking chimes of time. Continue with your irrelevancies while the country totters. Continue if it pays you. That was what she wrote. A lot of reactions came through. But however, it's good enough we also consider what another activist, Renu did. She kind of published some things which I don't want to mention here about Abbas and say, please greet Senator Abbas Tajuddin. And you can imagine what he put up there. But then she says, Nigerian must say hi and ask him why he is sponsoring the Counter Subvention Bill 2024 to destabilize our democracy and tell him to withdraw it immediately. This bill awaiting second reading is dangerous as it threatens target and prevent your ability to hold the government accountable, your right to protest and assemble, free speech and dissent, activism and civil society, media freedom and democratic pluralism. Opposition group use vague terms that criminalize anyone. Basically, all our democracy stands for. And the last person is our dear Aisha Yusufu, and she says, Dear at Police NG, are you done with your meeting? Okay, she wrote something there, and but then her own was she was ready to go to prison. He said, when you guys are through, I am here. You can come pick me up, and I'm ready to save the jail term. But that for that particular anthem, I'm not going to have anything to do with it. I'm going to watch it. She said, we'll choose 20 years in prison than sing Tinubu's anthem passed by slaves masquerading as lawmakers in the National Assembly. That was what she had to say. Whoa, this is quite serious. So, pack all of this together. This was just some of the key personalities who talked about it. Other people also vexed their anger, and I knew very well that that wasn't okay. When I sat back and considered all the provision in that bill, it pointed to one thing, and that is autocracy. It pointed to dictatorship. It pointed to muting the people and treating them like slaves. I thank God that the Speaker of the House of Representatives at the point saw reasons with the people and has decided to withdraw it. And guess what? This is overly important for all Nigerians. When we see something, let us say something. Don't keep your mouth shut, because immediately this thing goes through first, second reading, and nobody's castigating it. Nobody's talking about it. People are not screaming about it. People are not painting the country red with it. I tell you the whole truth, it's going to fire back at us. So the ideal thing to do at that point is to make sure we use the only instrument in our hand, which is the social media. Escalate it as much as you can. Shake the whole system so that they will realize that this is still democracy and not their own kind of system of government. That's where we like to leave it. Let's be in a comment section and talk more on this. What's your position now that the Speaker of the House of Representatives, the key sponsor of the subvention bill, has decided to
global happenings today?